Brought to you by Knights of Awakening. This is the Labyrinth.
This is your host, Charles, and this is a Labyrinth rant. And yet again, upon my news feed is more hypocrisy. And this will be the last rant I do, for a little while at least, on this topic. But I am going to address it one more time. And this one is on transgender women and restrooms. And I am not going to put the picture up here. This picture is by Hooves and Horns by A.W. Irwin. So go take a look at his picture, you know. And then let him know what you think in the comments. I have already. I am Charles McBride. This is the Labyrinth. And as I said, I would get around to this before the night was up. And the night is almost up. So, what we have is a picture that says, notice, if you're not a genuine bona fide female when you enter this room, you will be when you leave. And it has, again, the world's ugliest man on earth dressed as a woman. If this is a transgender woman, this is the poorest example of transgender women on earth. The poorest example of an effort. The really downside to this is that the caricature looks almost sad. To look up at the note, the transgender woman looks very, very sad despite looking a little bit more masculine than I do right now. All of that said, what you have, and what really pisses me off, is the message that this is sending. This is promoting hate, and this is promoting violence. And I am all for violence. I love violence more than you will ever know. Why, I believe that the proper solution to any problem is burying your axe in the head of your enemies. I'm Norse. Remember that. There are a lot of us Norsemen out there. We don't particularly like hypocrites. But this is not a threat. I in no way condone any violence at all against the people that are holding this view. But I want to bring to light their violent portrayal. What you have is two, what I have to assume are the second ugliest men on earth, in what appears to be cowboy dress. And there's a mention about these good old boys making sure, you know. These are your good old boys. One is carrying what looks to be a knife that he's testing the sharpness of, and the other is carrying, appears to be a whip. Both are in jeans. One is wearing riding boots, and the other is wearing sneakers. Which I guess just goes to illustrate that anybody could be a good old boy if they can grab themselves a right old Texan 40-gallon hat for their 10-gallon head. Now, what these redneck, hillbilly, inbred sons of bitches are doing is apparently standing guard at this restroom so that they may, I guess, do a very gruesome surgery upon the transgender female who has yet to undergo the surgery and the hormone therapy. More than likely, what they're planning to do is beat, murder, and possibly rape the transgender female. Likely, if the transgender female has not went through the surgeries, and it appears that she has not in this picture. It appears that she does not know how to shave her face, legs, or arms either. But it appears that what they're, or mustache, it appears that what they're going to do is that chop this poor woman's private parts off. Now, my issue with this cartoon is, again, this is promoting a great deal of hate, and it's using a figure that is stereotypically not transgender. You would have a really, really hard time knowing a transgender male from female in modern society. Especially a transgender female, because she's going to wear quite a bit of makeup. She's going to take care to look womanly because she is seeking to look womanly, being born with male parts, male anatomy. And the result is that you wouldn't really know. But what they're using what I call the stereotypical ugliest man on earth. The ugliest man on earth throws on a wig to enter the woman's room. Why? I don't know. And then is accosted by a pair of redneck inbred hillbillies who may or may not be from Texas. For what it is worth, I went to a vocational education school for computer repair myself. As of note, today I just got done taking care of shoring up some case issues in my case. And the result is that, you know, my computer's running without the little humming noise it was making before, which was a few wires touching the side panel. My point is, I actually paid attention in school. My second point is that we had a lot of people, and this was in Western Maryland, who walked around in cowboy hats and boots and pants. So I can't guarantee that these excuses for humanity are from Texas, but they're attempting to look Texan, which should insult Texans everywhere. That's right. If you're a good red-blooded Texan and you see someone who looks like this and they are threatening to do bodily harm to another individual, which you know is against proper etiquette as a Texan, then you should probably inform them that no one takes kindly to that. My issue with this cartoon is that it's promoting hate speech. It's promoting violence against another individual on a political situation. It is promoting a beating, a whipping, a stabbing. I'm pretty sure there may be laws against this. The thing is, I may be one of the most violent individuals on the face of the planet whenever I'm angered. I may be one of the most violent individuals on the face of the planet when I'm assaulted. But even I, coming all the way from the Norse background, coming from a people who believed that the greatest solution to all problems was to bury your enemy, even I find this to be a bit excessive in terms of violent promotion, violent action. I am at no point condoning that anyone attacks someone in this manner. I'm appalled. I'm taken aback that the author is promoting violent action against other human beings. I am taken aback that they believe that this right here is the proper response. This is the proper response to this situation. They promote this. This isn't funny. This isn't humorous. This is wrong. I would like to think that the author will be issuing an apology, not for voicing their view, but for attempting to create a rallying cry in which they are suggesting you should hurt other people based on their sexuality. So this has been a Labyrinth short segment. It's been my rant. Not a real long video today. I'm almost sick. I'm almost sick to my stomach to see this. That someone's going to take their time and their fair art skills. I've seen better, but I've seen a lot worse too. They're going to take their fair art skills and they're going to put them to the use promoting violent beatings and murders of other human beings. And then they're going to talk about, you know, their moral high ground. I'm going to read what they wrote, and then we're gonna call this an end to it, okay? It says, when I first picked up a pen over 50 years ago, I never for a moment thought the topic of this cartoon would be something I'd ever need to address. But here we go, and be ready for the long haul, folks, because I really don't think the insanity will end anytime soon. These two old boys seem to have a solution. Your solution is murder, then. Your solution is to beat someone to death and stab them to make sure they bleed to death. That's your solution. Really? Really? You should be ashamed of yourself. We start implementing solutions like that with everyone we disagree with, everybody will be covered in blood. Your hands are not clean now. Your hands are not clean. A.W. Irwin. Because the next person who gets hurt, the next person who bleeds as a result of this hate speech is on your hands. You remember that. It's not on my hands. Angry as I am at you, I'm going to say this to anyone who listens to my show. Do not assault this individual. Do not hurt them. Recognize that they are misguided and foolish. But for you, AW, you're going to have more blood on your hands in the history. You're going to have more blood on your hands than my ancestors have. You're going to have more blood on your hands and on your head than anyone else. You know what? I'm pagan, so I don't have to worry about how I'm going to be judged. For what it's worth, I'm Norse pagan. If I had done this number, I might have my ticket to Valhalla just for the number of lives that would be lost by my hand. That's a scary thought. I'd never really considered that method of getting in. For you, though, I'm willing to bet you're a conservative Christian. Just remember that when judgment comes for you. If you believe in that, if you believe in your God who preached forgiveness and compassion, you remember that. You're going with a lot of blood on your hands when you get there. And I just hope that your God judges you the way my God would judge me. Or, come to think of it, maybe not. This has been the Labyrinth. Always remember, awaken the night within.